Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Mac.
and today we're going to be giving our first impressions of the expansion to Crusaders Thy Will Be Done.
Divine influence.
Yes. And this is actually one with a kind of a story behind it, I think, because. What?
Nothing.
Oh. Because
The cover's on upside down, the back's upside down.
almost every single one has been. Crusaders Thy Will Be Done is a game that I was very interested in for the longest time, and TMG, who originally printed it, sadly went out of business.
Yeah.
And I think they had a Kickstarter out for this expansion, so I don't know that it was ever going to, or wasn't sure if it was ever going to actually hit, anyone would ever see it. But then Renegade picked up both the original game and the expansion and brought it into being. So, yeah, it was actually not that, like, almost the same time. I think we got this is about the time that they had announced that they had bought the rights to the game.
Yeah.
So I go from thinking, oh no, I got to get this while I still can because I don't know if it's ever going to be printed again, to, oh, okay, it's being printed.
That's okay though, because then we get the deluxeified version, which is stellar.
We do have the deluxeified version. But yeah, so the expansion itself adds kind of another board and some more things you can put out on the initial board.
Another player board.
Yes.
Or an expansion to your player board.
Yes, with some additional cardboard building pieces, which kind of correspond to the original buildings, where you can build those and get discounted prices if you build them in the same spot as the respective building that it's connected to.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can kind of build them wherever you want as well, but it just will
cost
you more build actions. If you've never played the game, there's a rondel system. Well, you should probably play the game if you're checking out the expansion.
Yeah.
So you know, and that all works the exact same. It's just kind of adding some additional tokens to the board as well. That the Divine influence changes the influence action where it's not just getting points. You're actually going to spots on the board. Well, you still get points, but it's not.
Yeah, you're buying a tile, and that tile will have a benefit of some sort, and then it also comes with a certain amount of points depending on the level of tile or like the level
Similar
of the benefit type of a thing. So.
And yeah, otherwise a lot of the game plays pretty much exactly the same.
Yep, they added an additional scoring piece for that influence at the end. You know, you get those tiles for if you're beating the different groupings. I can't remember the little yellow, blue, and
the little
red
discs that you're going out to crusade against.
Yeah, so you get little points at the end of the game for whoever has the most, and they added a fourth one to that set now for whoever has the most influence. So that was nice. I thought a good complement to the change in the game.
Yeah, and when you defeat that influence, it actually allows you to put a shield out, which then allows you to kind of move around the board easier potentially as well. So that was a nice added thing as well.
Gives you a free travel.
Yes, but yeah, I would say overall I like what it all added. I didn't feel like at first when I was looking at it, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a lot, and it's adding, so much more to think about, and it does definitely add some more things to think about, but I don't think it was nearly as bad as I had initially thought when we had to place all those additional things out on the board. Had a whole extra board of things to build. I was like, oh boy, this might be too much. But no, I think it ended up adding kind of a nice extra layer for me of depth for me to the game. Because it was the original is one that I really like, but it just sometimes felt like it was maybe missing a little something for me. And I think this might be what I need to kind of keep it up there as one that I'm going to want to keep getting to the table more and more.
I would agree. I think the changes were good. I will say, though, for the building, like, I don't know if there's any conceivable way that you could actually get all however many, 24 buildings now
Yeah.
If not more. It's probably more than that.
I don't even know if you could get the originals off.
Yeah.
It's the original game.
Right. So I think you just have to be, like, you have to know that you're going to have to be really selective in what you're getting off. And because, like, you don't get bonuses for getting buildings off until the end of the game, like, until you reach the end of the building, you know, like, when you get the last castle off, you get, at the end of the game, you get points for all sets of enemies, or, like, you get just straight up 6 victory points. And that, I think, is what hurt me in our game, is because I was so focused on, like, just trying to get buildings that correlated to spots on the board that I was going, that I just didn't really think about, like, just get the buildings off. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, if it's, like, the best move ever, just get them off, because it benefits you way more to just have them off than it does to, like, try and put the castle specifically on the castle spots. You get -2 because, like, I never got there because I was too preoccupied with, like, oh, well, then I have this building and I can put this building with this building and all of these things. And so I felt like that was just a little bit, like, about it. But like you said, it gives you something extra to think about and to do. So you really do have to, with the rondelle, be mindful of your actions and your turns. So not a bad thing. I just think, knowing it now, I have to adjust for future games.
Yeah, and yeah, I do like some of the bonuses that those buildings give as you're unlocking them, because kind of the base ones, those ones kind of increase what your abilities kind of do as you're taking the actions. These ones, I think one of them allowed you to upgrade tiles without having to kind of take an extra turn to do that, which with this new one, I felt like I had to upgrade a lot more tiles than I typically do. I feel like I usually only do like 1 or 2, and in this game I did
I think I had
probably 3 or 4. So I think it felt like I had to do that too. It's because, it just seemed like, I really want to be dividing these actions, especially now that it's a lot easier to move around. So that added another unique element. So I do like that one of the buildings actually allowed you to do that without having to kind of waste a turn. And then I think another one allowed you to kind of upgrade or muster and stuff. So you could kind of upgrade that a lot quicker and start getting into kind of some bigger fights earlier on.
I think one gives you like an additional, like, little peg to put on your rondelle, so you have more pegs flowing, and I can't remember what the last one was.
Yeah, you can look, but yeah, I think they were all very unique. I do like the choices that they made.
Remove any level 1 building.
Oh yeah, we did. I don't think we actually did that one, but it could have been a good thing to do. So that would have been a way to potentially clear off some of those buildings, because they don't really get you that many points, and that way you're still unlocking those benefits as well.
Yeah.
So
how do you know if it's a level 1 though?
It's in the first row.
I know, but what if I didn't play that until I got, like, halfway across the continent? Never mind, we'll talk about this later.
Okay. But no, I would say for me this one kind of seems like an essential expansion. Just with what it adds, it doesn't seem like it's going to add to the actual game length. It'll just make give you a few more decisions to make, be a little less clear as to what the best thing to do is.
And so I think it would even improve, like, we played it at a higher player count one time, and I just remember just being like, oh my gosh, like, there was nothing left. It was like completely, like, it looked like somebody had actually crusaded across the board because there was nothing left. And I feel like with this, it's going to be super helpful, because people might not stop, you know, once they build a building, they might move on, and that gives you a chance to build a building behind their building, or maybe you can do the influence, or, you know, or maybe they did the influence, so you get to build the building. So I feel like that's going to be a really nice kind of change, because people are going to have to balance crusading with the peripherals in that spot.
Yeah, I think it will probably add to the higher player count games a few more things to do and think about. So yeah, it doesn't feel like, oh gosh, I'm always trying to race ahead of these people. Yeah, I think it will help that as well. But one thing I will note, I guess it's hard to know for the new retail edition, but the expansion itself came in like a thin tuck box that I didn't want to put the things back in there. So I wanted it all in the main box, and this is the deluxified box, which I think is actually maybe, is it the same size or is it a little bit bigger than the original?
I don't know.
And it's a pretty tight fit in here. So,
But we also have wooden pieces from the original in here too.
well, it's from
Yeah.
the deluxified version. I think came with both wooden and the plastic. But
Yeah, no, but we've got like extra set
yeah.
pieces.
So
for this
I
thing.
don't know what the Renegade version has, but that is something to note. Is it may be a tight fit.
I need those
potentially.
board game band things
Potentially.
from the dice down.
Yes, but no.
No more expansions. We can't fit anything more in here.
Hey, we'll see. There might still be some juice. I don't know if there's that much that you could do with the game still.
I think it's
it's
good
pretty
just
good
as
now.
it is with the expansion.
No, it was already good, but it's
yeah, I know,
even
but
better.
it's better. Which I don't say very often about expansions. So.
No, she doesn't. So yeah, essential.
It's a complete
expansion.
package now.
You heard it from Michaela. She says that she really likes
And
it.
I'm the
that means
authority.
something because she does not.
No.
She does not usually approve of expansions.
If I like a game in all its simplicity, why would I want to change it?
Yeah. But yeah,
Riddle me
I think we've got an unboxing video for the expansion. I don't think there's that much stuff in there,
No.
but you can check it out if you want
I
to.
think we also have an
Give it a
unboxing
look.
for Crusaders.
Yeah, probably. And that one's got a lot more interesting stuff in it, so definitely check that one out. But yeah, we hope to see you on that video. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.